The Punisher vs. Wild Dog, the brutal gunfight. Hey, what's up, everyone? Today, we're diving into a clash that's been brewing in the minds of comic fans everywhere. Picture this. Two of the most relentless vigilantes from Marvel and DC going head to head. That's right, the Punisher vs. Wild Dog. Ever wondered what happens when these two collide? Buckle up, because we're about to break it all down. Stay with me as we delve into their backgrounds, motivations, and skills, leading up to an explosive analysis of their brutal gunfight. We'll explore not just who would win, but why this matchup is such a big deal in the world of anti-heroes. Let's get into it. Frank Castle, aka the Punisher. Frank was an ordinary guy, a devoted husband and father, and a highly trained Marine decorated for his service. But his life took a devastating turn when his family was tragically killed in the crossfire of a mob hit during a picnic in Central Park. That moment shattered his world. Consumed by grief and vengeance, he transformed into the Punisher, declaring a one-man war on crime. Frank isn't your typical hero. He doesn't have superpowers or fancy gadgets. Instead, he's driven by an unyielding desire to punish those who do evil. Armed with his military expertise, he takes justice into his own hands. We're talking meticulous planning, tactical brilliance, and a willingness to do whatever it takes to eliminate criminals. No mercy, no compromise. When it comes to his arsenal, the Punisher doesn't mess around. Assault rifles, sniper rifles, handguns, knives, explosives, you name it, he's mastered it. His combat skills are off the charts, thanks to his special forces training. He's a master strategist, always thinking 10 steps ahead. He uses stealth, surveillance, and sheer firepower to get the job done. Jack Wheeler, the man behind the mask of Wild Dog. Jack was a college football star turned Marine. After an injury forced him out of the military, he returned to civilian life, trying to find his place. But tragedy struck when his girlfriend was killed by mobsters because she refused to cooperate with them. That was Jack's breaking point. Fueled by anger and a sense of justice, he became Wild Dog, determined to clean up the streets of the Quad Cities. Wild Dog operates on pure guts and instinct. He's not one for elaborate plans or strategies. Instead, he dives headfirst into danger, relying on his bravery and combat skills. His mission is personal: protect his community and make sure no one else suffers like he did. He's impulsive, fearless, and sometimes a bit reckless, but his heart is always in the right place. Jack's gear is as bold as his approach. Sporting a hockey jersey and a hockey mask, he wields a custom submachine gun and electrified gloves that can stun enemies with a single punch. His athleticism gives him an edge in agility and strength. While he might not have the Punisher's tactical training, his unpredictability keeps his foes on their toes. So how do these two end up on a collision course? Imagine a new criminal syndicate that's been causing havoc across state lines, involved in illegal arms dealing and trafficking. Both the Punisher and Wild Dog catch wind of this operation. Frank sees it as another cancer to be eradicated, while Jack wants to protect his city from this rising threat. Unaware of each other's involvement, they both set their sights on taking down the syndicate. As they close in, their paths inevitably cross. The Punisher's strategic infiltration meets Wild Dog's boots on the ground action. Frank's all about precision and control, while Jack brings spontaneity and raw energy. Their methods couldn't be more different, setting the stage for an explosive confrontation. In the dead of night, at an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of the city, tensions reach a boiling point. The Punisher scopes out the area from a hidden vantage point, spotting armed guards patrolling. Wild Dog, meanwhile, bursts onto the scene, taking out thugs with swift, hard-hitting moves. Their eyes meet across the chaos, a silent acknowledgement that the other is a formidable force. Stand down. This isn't your fight. Funny, I was about to tell you the same thing. Last warning. Walk away. Not a chance. The Punisher immediately takes cover, using shadows and structures to his advantage. He calculates angles, anticipates Wild Dog's moves. Wild Dog, on the other hand, keeps moving, firing in bursts, using the environment for quick escapes and surprise attacks. Frank sets traps, tripwires and concussion grenades, but Jack's reflexes and sharp instincts help him narrowly avoid them. Bullets fly as the Punisher unleashes a barrage from his M16, aiming to incapacitate. Wild Dog retaliates with his submachine gun, its rapid fire forcing Frank to rethink his positions. The electrified gloves come into play during close encounters, delivering shocking blows that keep the Punisher on guard. Smoke fills the air as flashbangs and grenades explode, each trying to outmaneuver the other. At one point, Wild Dog manages to disarm the Punisher, leading to an intense hand-to-hand combat sequence. Fists, elbows, knees, both showcase their combat training. The Punisher, larger and more experienced, uses grappling techniques to gain the upper hand. But Wild Dog's agility allows him to slip free, delivering a shocking punch with his electrified glove that stuns Frank momentarily. The fight isn't just physical, it's mental. The Punisher questions Wild Dog's recklessness, accusing him of endangering civilians. Wild Dog fires back, calling Frank a murderer who hides behind a twisted sense of justice. Their words hit as hard as their punches, each trying to unsettle the other. As the battle rages on, the real villains make their move. The Syndicate tries to escape amidst the chaos, triggering explosives to cover their retreat. Realizing that innocent lives are at stake, the Punisher and Wild Dog momentarily put aside their conflict. Together, they work to defuse the bombs and stop the criminals from getting away. In the end, they exchange a silent nod of respect before parting ways. The encounter leaves a lasting impression. The Punisher gains a grudging appreciation for Wild Dog's courage, while Wild Dog recognizes the value of strategy and planning. Both continue their separate missions, subtly influenced by their encounter. The Punisher operates on a strict code. Criminals must be eliminated permanently. There's no gray area for him. Wild Dog, while willing to use lethal force, sometimes shows mercy based on circumstances. Their clash highlights the nuances in their approaches to justice. Frank's methods are calculated and absolute, whereas Jack's are more flexible, driven by emotion and context. Public opinion on these two is mixed. The Punisher is both feared and respected. Some see him as a necessary force against crime, while others view him as no better than the criminals he kills. Wild Dog is seen by some as a hero protecting his hometown, and by others as a dangerous vigilante causing more harm than good. Their actions ripple through their communities, influencing how vigilantes are perceived. Let's talk about what you all think. Fans have been debating this matchup for years. Some argue that the Punisher's experience and tactical prowess give him a definitive edge. Others believe Wild Dog's unpredictability and sheer tenacity could tip the scales in his favor. It's a hot topic on forums and social media. Many of you have proposed alternative outcomes. What if they teamed up from the start? How would the fight go if it took place in a different setting? Some suggest that if Wild Dog had more time to plan, he could outsmart the Punisher. Others think that Frank's refusal to adapt could be his downfall. The possibilities are endless, fueling countless fanfics and discussions. So, we've walked through the epic and brutal encounter between the Punisher and Wild Dog. Two men shaped by tragedy, taking justice into their own hands, but in vastly different ways. Their battle is a clash of not just fists and bullets, but ideals and methods. At the end of the day, this showdown isn't just about who would win in a fight. It's about exploring the depth of these characters, their motivations, their demons, and what they stand for. Both embody the complexities of vigilante justice, forcing us to question where the line is drawn between hero and anti-hero. Whether you're Team Punisher or Team Wild Dog, there's no denying that both bring something unique to the table. Their stories remind us of the shades of gray in the fight against evil. Now, it's your turn. Who do you think would come out on top in this brutal gunfight? Do you side with the Punisher's calculated wrath or Wild Dog's fearless aggression? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get the debate going. Don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown, and hit subscribe to stay tuned for more epic analyses and showdowns. Share this video with your friends who love a good comic book clash. And here's a little teaser for you all. Next time, we'll be pitting two legendary assassins against each other in a battle of wits and skill. Trust me, you won't want to miss it.